welcome! Today I'm going to teach you the Alpine Stitch. Now the Alpine Stitch is an amazing stitch. It has this amazing texture. It's rather easy. It's a 4-row repeat. It is great for blankets, for wearables like sweaters and scarves. It has so many different uses and it is just fun to do. Like I said, it's a 4-row repeat, which means you'll do the 2 foundation rows, and then from then on until you reach your desired length, you'll repeat the same 4 rows over and over again. This makes it more complicated than 1-row repeats, but it's a lot more fun in my opinion than 1-row repeats, and you're less likely to get bored doing the exact same row over and over. Quick reminder that I use US terminology in all of my videos. The Alpine Stitch uses the single crochet, the double crochet, and the front post double crochet. Again, all of these are in US terminology. If you need reminders or quick recap on how to do any of those stitches, I will make sure to have links not only in the description box below, but every time a new stitch pops up on the screen, I'll make sure to include it in a link up here in the corners. That way you can click on it right there as soon as it comes up. As always, the materials that I use in this video will be listed in the description box below, but really fast, this is Mainstay yarn in yellow. It's a weight 4 yarn, and then this is a Boye ergonomic handled crochet hook, size J, which is 5.75 millimeters. Before we get started, go ahead and hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and let's get going on the Alpine Stitch. First things first, we are going to chain to our desired length. Now the math to figure out how many chains you need is so easy. All you need is an odd number of chains. Now that can be 13, that can be 25, that can be 489. It really doesn't matter so long as it is an odd number of chains. I have here my chain that I'm going to be using. This is 17 chains long. I'm going to single crochet into the second chain from the hook. This little loop that's over my hook does not count as a completed chain. So we are not counting that when we are counting our chains in. So that means this doesn't count. This is a completed chain. This is the second completed chain. So that is where I'm going to insert my hook and start my single crochets. Because we started with an odd number of chains and we worked in the second chain from the hook across, we will end up with an even number of stitches. So I had a chain of 17, I will end up with 16 single crochet at the end of my row. Okay, I'm here at the end of my first row. I have 16 single crochet right here, all in this little row. Now I'm going to work on row 2. This is the last of my foundation rows. So I'm going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to turn my work, and then I'm going to double crochet all the way across. Now for this stitch, this chain 3 does count as the first double crochet. So what that means is instead of working right here into this first stitch and the last stitch from the last row, I will work into this stitch instead. For single crochet and half double crochet, that turning chain, either chain 1 or chain 2, does not count as a stitch. So you have to go ahead and work into the very first stitch. Double crochet and treble crochet, typically it does count as a stitch. So when you're doing this, remember, if you're doing a single crochet row, you do need to work into the very first stitch. If you are doing a double crochet row, you will not work into the very first stitch. All right, everybody, I have here 16 double crochet all in a row. Now I am going to go ahead and start working on row 3, and that is the first row of my repeat. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to chain 1, turn my work. Now I'm going to work a single crochet into each one of these stitches. Now remember, this does not count, that turning chain does not count as a stitch, so you do need to work in the very first stitch. If you need to, go ahead and just count the stitches at the end of every row. That way you know you have the 16 or the 86 or the whatever number of stitches that you need for your row. I have finished up my row 3. I have 16 single crochet across. I went ahead and counted. Now I'm going to chain 3 and start on my row 4. Now I'm going to start off with a front post double crochet. If you need a reminder on how to do the front post double crochet, I will make sure to have the link not only in the description box, but also up in the corner of the video so you can click on it there. Now I'm going to be working not around any of these single crochets from my previous row. I'm going to work on these double crochets from 2 rows ago. I've gone ahead and I've already brought a loop over my hook. I'm going to bring it to the right of the stitch I want to work around. Again, not into the chain, but into the next stitch. Grab my loop, pull up. Now I'm going to make this as extended as I can. So because I'm working not 1 row below me, but 2 rows below me, if I do it just the normal tension, then it's going to make it kind of look crumpled and weird. So instead I just extend this first yarn over as much as possible. That way, when I finish my double crochet, it's a normal double crochet height. Now I'm going to work a traditional double crochet, no front post double crochet, but traditional double crochet into the next stitch. Now if you aren't exactly sure where that is, you can look right here on the back. So I have right here, this was the first stitch that my chain was in. This would then be the second stitch where I did the front post double crochet. That means this right here is where I'm going to do my traditional double crochet. Now I've done a front post double crochet and a traditional double crochet. I'm going to repeat those two all the way across. So I have my front post double crochet here. Remember to extend it nice and tall. And then I'll have my traditional double crochet in the next stitch. So I have worked back and forth between front post double crochet and a traditional double crochet all the way across. And you can see because I extended those front post double crochets, it is a really even line here, which is very nice. Now I have one stitch left. I could put another front post double crochet around this guy right here. However, that makes a really uneven edge. So what we do instead is we're going to do just another traditional double crochet right here. Perfect. That is the end of my row 2. Now we're going to chain 1, turn our work, and now we will single crochet across. Okay guys, I've worked all the way across. I have 16 single crochet here. I'm going to go ahead and do the last row of my repeat. So I'm going to chain 3, and I'm going to turn my work. Now I'm going to do a traditional double crochet into the next stitch. Again, my chain 3 does count as a stitch, so I'm not going to work here, but into this stitch, a traditional double crochet. Now from here on out, it's a lot easier. If you can see from the previous set of double crochets that you did a front post double crochet, do traditional in that stitch. You can see that the last row you did a traditional double crochet in that stitch. You know you need to do a front post double crochet, and same as always, make sure you extend as high as possible. You can look at the back and just count the stitches. That way you know you were alternating every time and you weren't adding extra stitches or skipping stitches that you need to do. Now you'll continue to do this, a traditional double crochet and then a front post double crochet all the way across. Okay guys, I've alternated all the way across. I started out with this traditional double crochet, extended front post, traditional, front post, traditional, front post. I'm all the way at the end. Now same as just before, I have one extra stitch. In that stitch, again, same as before, I'll just do a traditional double crochet. Perfect. Now that right there is the end of my 4-row repeat. So we had the 2 foundation rows that were single crochet across, then double crochet across, and then the 4 that you repeat over and over. Now I'm going to jump off camera and I'm going to keep going for a little bit. That way I have a nice long swatch so you can see full glory what this stitch can look like. Alright guys, I have finished up my little swatch here. I went ahead and did 2 additional repeats. So that means I have my set of 2 foundation rows way down here, then I have a set of 4, set of 4, set of 4. Then at the very top, I like to do another row of just single crochet off the top. Just since there's a row of single crochet down here at the bottom, having a row of single crochet at the top I think makes it a little bit more even feeling, and I rather like how it looks. That's not necessary, but I highly recommend it. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please go ahead and give it a big thumbs up if you've liked this video or if you've learned something from this video. And if you're interested in more content like this, follow me on Instagram, subscribe to my channel. I release videos all the time that are either step-by-step stitch tutorials just like this, or that are beginner-friendly patterns that you can then use to develop and practice those new skills that you've gained. Thank you again so much. I hope you have a wonderful day, and ta-ta for now.